the review shows a well-rounded approach to the country's financial challenges. That is basically what was mostly focused on. So now Minister Shiimi's focus on drought relief, social grants and infrastructure reflects a clear aim to support Namibians facing tough conditions, obviously. But now also at the same time, there's a strong emphasis on careful spending and economic stability, which are now both obviously crucial to long-term growth. So the whole speech was basically just in accordance to what is actually happening in the country, and everything that has to be changed now according to the budget as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Now, which aspect of the budget do you believe are the most significant in terms of fiscal sustainability?
Well, I mean, the budget's commitment to reducing debt, especially now by reallocating resources now from low priority projects stand out, whereby we are basically now trying to take funds from the low priority ones, whereby we don't really have to put so much focus on. We just have to but basically change those to now other platforms basically. So there's also now an ongoing effort to increase revenue collection, and obviously now to control public spending as well. That is now being done by balancing immediate needs with future debt reduction. The government is also prioritizing financial health and stability now in that sense as well.
Mm-hmm. So, Kleopas, the budget review mentions an upward revision of revenue projections. What factors do you think contributed to this optimistic outlook?
Awesome. Well, the government is expecting an increase in the revenue, partly due to improved tax compliance and better collection from key areas like individual income and corporate tax. That is now obviously we have to give very good thanks to NAMRA. They are really doing a very great job when it comes to the aspect of tax. So now, while some other revenues, like revenue sources like diamonds, for example, are lower, other areas basically have exceeded expectations, giving the government obviously now this confidence means projections. So when the diamond sector obviously is now looking a bit, at least now other ones at least they are coming on with now better expectations actually from what we actually even running from actually.
Mm-hmm. So the government has highlighted low execution rates on operational and development expenditures. What do you think are the implications of this, for future budget planning?
Low execution rates suggest that some projects are obviously lagging, which can obviously now delay expected benefits. And now this makes it harder also to plan accurately for future budgets. But now to address this, the government is mostly focusing now on identifying and now obviously removing now these obstacles, just to prevent at least timely project completion. Which should obviously now improve now efficiency moving forward, with now the budgeting and everything like that. So it's a matter of now just the government removing now at least these hiccups and then just obviously now fastening up the process exactly.
Mm-hmm. With additional allocations made for drought relief and social grants, how do you assess the government's focus on social spending?
Awesome. Well, from my perspective, the increased allocation for drought relief and social grants shows the government's dedication to obviously now helping the vulnerable Namibians. We are having a crisis of now drought that we are currently dealing with. So I believe the government's impact on it is actually going to be really good, because now they are allocating now the drought relief and everything. So now obviously this kind of support can obviously elevate the immediate needs, of course, especially now in rural areas that they have obviously been hit hard by drought, and then also while also keeping now local economies moving through additional household spending as well. So basically just pumping money into now the whole drought relief thing, so that at least now there's obviously these areas that are mostly hit harder than others. So at least now the government obviously now is trying to push now obviously assistance in those areas as well.
The budget review outlines a commitment to stimulate domestic demand and invest in public infrastructure. How do you see these priorities affecting economic growth in the short to medium term?
I mean, investment in infrastructure. Obviously, you have the likes of the roads. The rural electrification is obviously now expected to create jobs and support businesses. This initially obviously is now gonna boost economic growth as well over time now. And obviously just by improving essential services, basically, these investments also make now Namibia more attractive for investments, both internal and external as well, which obviously now also leads to now potential long-term benefits also. So obviously now the economy is also obviously now being boosted now obviously by these jobs and everything like that. So obviously now the infrastructure that are now coming into play, there's obviously going to be more job creation, and we are struggling with now a bit of unemployment. So I believe this is going to be a very good step ahead.
Mm-hmm. And finally, looking ahead, what key areas should the government focus on in order to enhance fiscal resilience and economic stability?
With that, I believe the government should actually just continue strengthening basically the tax compliance, and obviously now broadening revenue streams beyond traditional sectors like obviously mining. So I believe the government being able to now obviously extend or broaden basically where their money goes to, and their focus is on. I believe that it's going to be a very good step ahead, because now obviously we have now times whereby the mining sector is lagging a bit. So now obviously when we have other things like agriculture, obviously that are obviously coming into play, then obviously those now can at least balance now the situation. So now obviously additionally supporting now sectors that can obviously make the economy more resilient to climate shocks, for example, like agriculture, renewable energy obviously will be now crucial as we look to now reduce the effects of drought and other challenges, of course. So now obviously when we implement obviously policies and everything that has to do with now everything like with the agricultures, I believe it's going to be a huge assistance actually, so that at least when other sectors are in trouble, then at least the other sectors can actually come into play, and then just to reduce that shock that the droughts and everything that we're currently dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that would be a massive help actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kleopas, let me thank you so much for your time. Was there anything that you wanted to highlight, perhaps?
I wanted to highlight the fact that when the report came in, it actually came in slightly late. There was a problem of absenteeism because now there was an event that is happening. So I feel like we are moving into the right direction.